We're gonna move on to the next speaker, Professor Hen Herawati. She's gonna present about natural-based solution for floodings and all hydrologic disaster. And then for time and the material and the present for you, Prof. Henny.
Thank you very much. Please, operator, can share my presentation with the audience. Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You can hear my voice?
Yes, of course.
Yes, okay, thank you. Because in this room have several Google Zoom meeting too. I'm sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for inviting me to this remarkable discussion at the Science, Civil and Environmental Engineering Technology Seminar event organized by the Civil Engineering Study Program of Pinus University under the theme Advancing Hydro Environmental Engineering. Thank you very much, Mr. Cahyono, as the moderator for this viewable opportunity. On this occasion, I would like to discuss about natural-based solution as a strategy for mitigating hydrometeorological disaster. As we are all aware, over the past decade, we have been experiencing hydrometeorological disaster that can no longer be considered minor. Next. Please, next slide. Can you present my presentation? Okay, thank you. A few months ago, in December 2025, Indonesia experienced a major flood disaster in Sumatra, with recovery costs reaching 21 to 22 trillion rupiah, affecting three provinces which are Aceh, North Sumatra, and West Sumatra. It is, I think it's a lot of money. And then, next, we have look, next slide, yes. If we look that historical data from 1970 to 1994, disaster occurrences have not been stable. In fact, they saw an increasing trend. The most frequent disaster include storm, flood, and droughts. In Indonesia, we particularly experience flood, drought, and extreme temperature. And then next, before going further, we need to understand what are hydrometeorological disaster. Meteorological disaster are natural hazard or disruptive process occurring in the atmosphere that might lead to loss of life, health impact, profit damage, loss of livelihood, and environmental degradation. As example, storm, tropical silent stream rainfall and flood. In Indonesia, we commonly experience uh, extreme, extreme rainfall, flood, droughts, landslides, strong wind and tornadoes, forest and land fire. Additionally, uh, during dry season, forest fire often lead to severe air pollution, where Indonesia has even been labeled as export head. Next. Before discussing disaster footer, we must first understand hydrological cycle. The hydrological cycle is the continuous movement of water from the atmosphere to the earth and back to the atmosphere through condensation, precipitation, evaporation, transpiration. These include infiltration, groundwater flow, and surface runoff. Ocean cover 71% of Earth's surface. In this of quantity, the total volume of water remain relative constant, although it's continuously move from one place to another. This means theoretical, the hydrological cycle can be managed, I think. Next, before yes, okay. Now let us move the climate change and extreme rainfall. After the first 20 years, the Earth temperature has increased significantly. This warming allowed the atmosphere to hold more water vapor. According to physical law, the warmer the air, the more water vapor it can contain. As a result, rainfall become more frequent and intense. At the same time, global warming alter air circulation, clouds formation, wind direction, and strength. This led to shifting climate pattern where previously dry area become wetter and the wet area may become drier. Additionally, rise ocean temperature accelerate of evaporation, better intensifying the water cycle. In my previous research, I found that sea level rise approximately 0.76 centimeter per year based on long-term tidal data analyzed over 20.6 years. Next. Next, please. Okay. Now let us focus on flood, one of the most significant hydrometeorological disaster. Okay, next. Flood can be defined based on Indonesia. Next slide, please. Okay. Flood can be defined based on Indonesia law number 24 2007 as a condition where an area is submerged due to increased water volume exceeding the capacity river. In Indonesia, flood occur repeatedly. For example, in the Kapuas River Basin, especially in the upstream area, floods have occurred continuously over the past 2 years with almost no dry season. Moreover, plant duration is become longer. This is influenced by the capacity of river and then performance of the watershed, which are strongly affected by land use changes. Next slide. Now, yes, this documentation show flooding condition in the upper Kapuas River in January 2024. Almost all residential area along the upper Kapuas River were affected by flooding. This undoubtedly have a significant impact on the community economy. And then now we discuss about cause of flooding. Yes, thank you. First thing, next slide. I'm sorry because I made many slide. I prefer. Okay, continue. Floods are caused by both natural and human factor, I think. Natural factor include cyclone, heavy rainfall, changes in river morphology, of course. And then, next. Meanwhile, human factor include the forestation or drainage system and population growth. This activity also trigger erosion which lead to sedimentation into the river, I think. So, next slide. And then erosion and sedimentation we discuss now. Yes, next. Erosion, next slide, please. Okay. Erosion refer to the movement of soil from one place to another. In another definition, erosion is described as the loss of topsoil layer. Okay, it is clear, I think, the meaning of erosion. Now, what sedimentation? Okay, sedimentation, the deposition of that material in river, reducing their capacity, I think. As a result, river cannot accommodate large volume of water increase. That's why increase flood risk, I think. Next. Now we discussion about sedimentation. Sedimentation is the process of solidifying the material or sediment at the bottom of a river. The effect of sedimentation will reduce the capacity of water stored in river, I think. So now, next slide. Now let us move the core discussion is natural-based solution or NBS. NBS is an approach that utilize a natural process to address environmental challenges. For example, vegetation can reduce erosion. If you reduce erosion, lead to less sedimentation and this help maintain river capacity. Next slide. NBS can also, yes, NBS can also be applied in urban planning, not only in a forest. According to IUCN, NBS is defined as action to protect, sustainably manage, and resolve ecosystem while addressing societal challenges and improving human well-being. I think it is very, very important. And then there are in, yes, next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. There are and NBS have the 8 key criteria of NBS include one, addressing, next slide, I think. Yes. One, addressing a social challenge effectively with several key indicator like social challenges are clearly defined. Appropriate design scale with key indicator. NBS is designed according to scale of ecosystems, landscape, or river basin. And then considered cross-regional and cross-sectoral linkages. Avoid negative effect in another location. And the second design approach scale. The third criterion is biodiversity benefit. And then fourth criterion is economic feasibility, I think. So after that, while the fifth, next slide, while the fifth criterion is include government, and the sixth criterion is fair trade-off. And while the seventh and eighth criteria are seven adaptive management and eight policy integrated. It's the important casus like that. Now, next slide. Now we discussion about natural-based solution for disaster mitigation. If implemented properly, NBS support global community as such as the SDGs and Paris Agreement, etc. If practice, NBS can improve water ability and quality, like the Mr. Dodi say before. Restoration ecosystem and strengthen community resiliences. Communities play a crucial role as frontline actor in climate change adaptation. So NBS also, next slide. NBS also provide multi-benefit, include reducing disaster such as flood and landslide, and then improving water and soil quality and supporting climate change mitigation, I think. If a natural ecosystem are integrated and interconnected system that collectively mainly balance. Therefore, holistic approach and collaboration among all stakeholders are essential for managing and conserving water resources. Yes, next slide. Yes. This slide to show us about closed loop diagram for dynamic system model, which illustration the relationship between population and land cover condition in an area which will affect the curve number in runoff. This demonstrate that gray infrastructure and vegetation intervention can control runoff. Yes, for example, next slide. One example of NBS implementation is the restoration of oxbolite. Pervious, this area were filled with sediment and vegetation turning into land. After, like the fig day, after restoration, they function again as water storage or retention basin. Okay, this is example in the done for this time. I think is the after Kapuas upstream Kapuas river. Yes, our analysis saw that water storage capacity increased by 25 to 40% after due restoration. Peak flood resource reduced by 12 to 18%. It is, I think, is very very good. And then river water level decreased by up to 30 centimeters. This analysis applies to normal water discharge condition, not extreme flood condition. Under extreme discharge condition, the oxbolet is already full of water, thus losing its capacity to accommodate water discharge from upstream. This demonstrates that MBS is effective in reducing flood effect. Then, and in addition, yes, next slide, please. In addition, natural ecosystem can improve water quality. I think it's very natural. Yes. For example, although the Kapuas River has abundant water, its quality remain poor. Therefore, natural base approach are essential, I think. And okay, next one. This condition, next slide. Okay, it is really utilize another as the solution. Next slide. Example of NBS application another. Yes, this condition is an example of an NBS application. Yes. Residential before, I think, slide before. Okay, residential settlement along the river basin that adapt to the surrounding environmental. You can see that the residential is adaptive, I think. Next. Community participation is also, next slide, please. Yes. Community participation is also crucial through the education and engagement. People can be actively contribute to water management. Like you look now, when have conducted community program since 2019 involving local community, river care group, and student, I think, to raise awareness and implement NDS practice. And then, yes. Here, some activities that have been carried out. Pit water treatment in residential area in Wajuk Hilir village. It is the example what I do to need people in the village, I think. And then pit water treatment at place of worship Mesque in the Wajuk Hilir Village too in the 2019. And then community service activities in Wajuk Hilir too. We give their education about to treatment for pit water, especially pit water treatment. And then dissemination of IPA. IPA is instalasi pengolahan air gambut, NEM, to the community in Wajuk Hilir Village too. Okay. And then beside to community, we give to the government. For example, we give education for the staff in the village. For example, pit water treatment in Limbung village is another village in Kalimantan, West Kalimantan. And then outreach, yes, river care community. It is too, we give the education to them. Finally, I would like them, please. Yes. Finally, I would like to emphasize that collective action is essential. I think we strong encourage student and young generation to actively participate in implementing a natural-based solution for a more sustainable future. Lastly, in the last slide, I think. Yes. Lastly, I would like to quote Albert Einstein statement, namely, without changing your way of thinking, we will not be able to solve the problem we create with our old way of thinking. Thank you for your attention. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Cahyono, your time, please.
Thank you so much, Prof. Henny, for the insightful presentation about hydrometeorology,